Hello folks, Brew here. Well, this is my sort of limited primer-ish kind of pre-release slash future drafts guide, but I'm just gonna talk about essentials here, nothing too much into details because I've recorded some sample drafts, simulations for deck building, and sealed pool simulations as well, and I've also published some more thorough reviews. So now I will be just talking about a few particular tips for limited because I don't want to talk like way too much in specifics for constructed. I think I'm just rather gonna record some video with some prototype deck lists I've drafted, so an overview that. So let's talk more about limited. Well, not gonna talk much about gas because, like, come on, planeswalkers are definitely pretty all pretty sweet and limited, that's for sure. Are gonna be a nightmare to play against Vizier in limited. I'll grant you that. Characters and trials are awesome. Basically, because they provide a ton of value. I really want to play blue-green X mid-range ramp at the Prerelease or release or whatever, or sealed opens. There's one in my area. What is it, in 1.5 weeks time? Well, basically. But what I want to just say, this is probably the most important part of this recording. Um, if you open the back pool and you don't know what to do and everything is spread across colors and you're so it's sealed, right? Because in draft you have more control of colors. So what you can do is that just play red-green. It's as simple as that, because unlike with other colors where most of power level, power value, whatever, comes from uncommons, in red and green you have a ton of decent 2 and 3 and 4 drops and 5 drops and whatever. So just play red green when in doubt, when you open the back pool, when your rares or mythics are just not that great, or the pool is just all over the place. You're always gonna end up with a solid playable red green deck in sealed, that's for sure. Don't even try to play Cruel Reality in limited or convergence, just that kind of stuff. Like, only if you have a ton of ramp, like the 3 mana blue green mana dork or the 2 mana dorks or this blue Vizier. So then maybe you can think of that kind of stuff, but otherwise, please no. Celebrant's gonna be busted, but rares and mythics are more or less straightforward, because you're not gonna play limited cards like Disposes and Intervention. There's actually a slight chance that you will play in sealed or draft Shadow of the Grave. I could totally see that. But let's just go down and down towards commons and uncommons. Well, green is probably one of the better colors in limited, I think, for this. Not just because of ramping and fixing, but because of stuff like this proc here. Just 6/7 for 6 is already pretty decent, and then it has hexproof, and then it's just an uncommon. It's like basically the boogeyman of limited format with this set, that's for sure. I really hope that there would have been some, sacrifice effects, where all the trials and stuff did we not go through them yet. Well, it's a bit sad that there are not that many token makers, because I guess otherwise all the stuff that puts minus counters on target creatures you control will be just too ridiculous. This way, I guess, is kind of balanced, it's kind of fair. But yeah, I would love to see more token makers, because as they stand, they're just, not that insane. Of course, Um, 3 mana uncommon. What is it? 3/2 lifelink is okay. It's not that bad, but yeah. This sniper, this archer is just gonna be so busted in limited. I would hate that card with all my guts. I'm pretty sure of that. A Seraph is actually quite interesting. I think in some controller stacks with cheap interaction, you can definitely play it, and then it will be a big pain in the ass to deal with, that's for sure. Really love Javeliners. Also, probably one deck I hope to open our draft. Just cheap spells and then just a bunch of Javeliners. So, I don't know, I like decks like that unlimited, that's for sure. Maybe not that much in constructed. I actually don't think it's an insane constructed card. Uh, I only had space for one in the sideboard or something like that for the blue-red tempo spells with the drakes and stuff, and thing in the eyes. So people are gonna do some funky stuff with the Vizier of Remedies in Modern, I believe, but so back to limited. Sin of Seeker. Well, you gives the flying. Yeah, this card's gonna be really annoying. But that's an uncommon, so yeah. Would you always play the Brawler in your red deck? Well, I suppose you're not gonna play it in mid-range deck. And then it's not a random card, so you get to choose. You can discard just a relevant small creature or just an extra land. So yeah, I just think about it. Somebody's gonna get lucky. Not just somebody, but quite a few people are gonna get lucky. And think of like the experience. Imagine they had no one drop, right? But there are like some very decent one drops in both like red and green, uh, mostly red. Some one at least is a very good uncommon, and there is another. I think it's a 1 mana guy that gives creature haste until end of turn. So for tap. So imagine like something like that's 1 mana dude that gives haste. Turn to brawler, discard like whatever, I don't know, Hydra. Give your brawler haste, so smashing for 4 on turn 2. Turn 3 Rondas, speed it up with haste, and like it can attack because you have brawler in play. Just like you're just gonna hate your life, and I don't know. They're all like amazing cards, like for constructed. I love this kind of archetype to actually be brought back, but in limited, I don't know. Might I might not like scream or shout or just swear and curse during those moments during limited tournaments, but my face will just express everything that I've just explained to you right now. All the disgust. I don't know like why to bring by force in here. There are not that many crazy artifacts. Like why not just well, there is demolish with cycling I think in this sense, so that's kind of cool, but like why to bring something like by force? So yeah, I mean I can understand the Manglehorn, because like yeah, you'll just set it in and you'll just have a body in play, and it's also like pretty good card for constructed, but by force I don't understand it. I understand it for constructed, I don't understand it for like limited. Why to print this kind of card in this set? um, yeah, like red green, or what is it, red white exert and limited is probably gonna be like the best archetypes to draft into. Well, maybe not so busted in sealed, because you're not gonna get so busted like red white or red green unless you get like super lucky. But I mean the chance of having a busted exert deck is actually not, in sealed is still a bit smaller than for drafts. But yeah, basically, if you open all magma sprays and just cheap 1 and 2 interaction or pumps, or just some 1 and 2 drops in pretty much any color, so you pretty much have to play them, because of like red, white, and red, green. That's just gonna go like 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, or like uh, I don't know, turn for 2 more 2 drops and just bash, bash, bash. So be aware of that. Like, people are just gonna do that and just dump like all those uncommon crocodiles at you and enchant them with fervors and so on. So actually, I think sensors and essence scatter. Well, essence scatter for sure. Like, historically, that kind of card in limited is actually real good. But I actually think sensor is gonna be. So if you're gonna play pretty much any blue deck, you're gonna play it in limited, just because of the tempo, and like you need some answers, so you need those counters. Um, there's also Dream Strider, so um, basically, if you have enough like ways to stay alive in the first few turns, a lot of that, like, you're pretty much gonna win no matter what in the late game, because a lot of those super aggressive fast decks in limited will just dump their hands and like discard it and just want to actually empty it as fast as possible because of cards like Strider and so on, and they would just, loot and loot and loot, because they're gonna get value out of all of that. But still, what I mean is that if you want to make like mid-range controlish deck in limited, at least in sealed, that's actually a good strategy, I think. Then if you make a value deck that maybe is light on win conditions, I actually think it's reasonable, because normally that's not something you want to do, because then, well, by the time you will actually draw some ways to actually close out the games, they will just, you know, play too many threats for you to deal with. But in this set, I don't know. Maybe there is a chance, especially if you have something like Drake Haven, the enchantment that makes 2/2s for cycling. So yeah, just stay with the early pressure. Actually, for this reason, of just staying alive in the first few turns, this Guardian is actually really good, because you get like 2 decent blockers for their curve 2 times. So yeah, like one of the best cards probably in limited for blue, the Guardian, like this 2 drop. Just because in that color you really need stuff like this to stay alive in limited, and yeah, it's gonna be very valuable. Uh, Late claim, well, you really need some ramp to justify running this unlimited. That's for sure. Real like duelist, of course, there like no argument about that card, I guess. Um, I really hate the synchronized strike. It's like 3 mana. They could have this or +2/+4 reach, untap a guy, untap the guy, like pump it, right? Or this. It's like, come on. If you can't beat them, join them. Probably is gonna be my motto in this limited, because I just can't picture like a great non-red, non-green deck that actually beats all of that. It's gonna be really, really hard. So many pumps, so many tricks, so many good cheap drops and stuff. It's insane, really. Actually, yeah. In the 17 land deck, running Sandworm is actually okay if you're in the market for that. Even if you have no ramp in the deck, it's okay, just because of cycling. So don't be afraid. Like, you can always just cycle it, so it's not too bad. So, but then when you really get mana flooded, you will really be happy that you've put this worm into your deck. And it's not like it's cycling is like 3 or 4 mana, it's just 2, and it's like any mana. So yeah, actually pretty flexible and like powerful common, I think. Yeah, if I'm not gonna be red or green in limited this season, So yeah, hope I will just open or pick a bunch of Angler Drakes and I don't know, and maybe like Gravediggers, and then start to change, just uh, dealing with the board this way. It's kind of like slow, but there's 2 mana 1/4 in black, for example, which is gonna be very, very important. I think you're not gonna play it in an aggro deck, but you might definitely side it in like in an aggro mirror match. That's for sure. I would do that. This initiate is very strong. So free to flyer for 4 is actually quite okay, especially at common. Then it basically has a flashback. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, Maybe not enough bounce with all this, embalm stuff. So I'd love to see a little bit more, maybe. Um, so there is a thing like that. But you do have sort of quite a decent amount of removal in this set, so that's also a thing. Um, the warrior is just such a nightmare. It's like uh, you would think that okay, in the late game you'll be able to stabilize, right? But no, you wouldn't, because they'll have a freaking death touch guy if they really want to. If they just really want to push through damage or just get rid of the blockers, it's like ridiculous. Yeah, and there's also fling, so in the set, so it's gonna be kind of funny. You'll just attack with the warrior, give it death touch, they would block it with something, and then before damage you'll just eat it with fling and like kill something else, and disgusting, just so disgusting. There'll be just some really sick blowouts regarding board states. Um, yeah, really like the mummy actually, because then you can play a pretty nice tempo game. Let's say you attack with your free drop, which is going to be on average like some random free two, right? So you attack with it, they don't want to just trade. You're like, well, okay. So how about I play this, untap that, and then like you don't really have good attacks either. Then you have to think, and I have two blockers. So yeah, and it's especially cool like if you have I don't know. So if you ate some random small drop with this Soul Stinger, right? And then you have this 4/5 in play. You attack with. They don't want to, chomp or use two creatures to get rid of it. And then you're like, "Mummy, hello there." So yeah, untap that, and yeah, just it's a very nice card. I think this Spare Mummy. I think is gonna be pretty damn important, especially in such an aggressive format, because I think it will be quite aggressive, yeah. I hope the second set will kind of balance it out and it will slow down a little bit. Because right now, like, you have very decent 2 and 3 drop and 4 drops in every single color, and it's crazy. So I hope this format will not just be about curving out. Um, Otherwise, it wouldn't feel great at all. Scorpion is pretty nice for black. Yeah, you need something like this. I like this card a lot. Not that many graveyard synergies actually, apart from Embalm, but still, I have some Embalm, some way to buy stuff back, like Gravedigger, etc. So actually, some kind of blue-black value mid-range will be interesting, because you can, let's say your second two lands, you cycle the Scorpion, right? You trigger your third land. Then, I don't know, turn 3, like, you play some 2/3 or whatever. Turn 4, let's say you play Oracle, then you can actually get back, so you dump some stuff, then you can embalm something, or you can just buy back the Scorpion plus something else. Because let's rewind a little bit back. I just want to make sure that the blue card that returns two things cards with cycling. Yeah, so you can actually return creatures with it. So that's kind of cool. So you can return the Sphinx that cycles and stuff like that. Yeah, so you can return creatures with cycling. So that's pretty sick. And you can return Laia Claim, so you can cycle it early and then take it back. Yeah, so yeah, and you have one for two in black and the guarding. So yeah, I think it's actually a legitimate archetype for limited. So basically, blue-black value mid-range. Even have this skirmisher, solid 2-drop we buy it back later on, and then during that. So yeah, it's like really appealing archetype, or let's say appealing, but um, it's really right there. You can see it, and it's gonna be pretty straightforward how you wanna like draft or sculpt it. Um, oh yeah, don't play this curse in limited or constructed, please. I think it's terrible, but I might be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. The initiate is really damn annoying. I hate curses like this in limited. When I have to play against them, of course. Like when I play them, I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. I get to race. I actually get to close out games quicker before they can stabilize. But yeah, of in general, not a huge fan of stuff like that. Especially in a set where red and green and white can get super aggressive and super consistent. Um, really like Supernatural Stamina, pretty cool card. Um, very good indeed. Um, Caravan, the camel is pretty nice one, so in terms of limited, I will value it pretty like highly, I would say. Not that many ways to actually generate a bunch of tokens, but because either way you have like so many decent like 2 and 3 drops and stuff, so this bird word is actually okay, or it's not overpowered, so don't get crazy about it. I think it's just good, not ridiculous. Yeah, Pursuit Glory, that's kind of card with segment, just, I don't know. One of the things like why it wasn't just a straightforward run for cards like that, because they were situational, but this isn't. I don't know, I feel like I might not have a very happy experience with this set, so because even if I would be doing stuff like this, it's not gonna make me feel that great because I know how it feels on the other side when you just get overrun and then like they just cast stuff like glory and so on. I don't know. I just you know uh, don't like uh, hyper aggressive creature battles for limited. Because like old Ravnica like wasn't that aggressive or that fast, and it was just all basically on Valiant. Okay, there were some really cool aggressive decks, but yeah, he didn't die that fast. That's it. That's it. I want those times backs, but things have to change. But I'm not sure if this is the right direction. But a lot of people will probably disagree with me. Yeah. I'm thinking about like how high would you actually uh, raise paralysis yourself? I think it's okay. I think it's more of a filler. I think it's more of a filler. But if you have those blue-red drakes, hell yeah, you're gonna run at least one copy of that. Because it's just like so much tempo. Um, yeah, Colossopad, it's just like, oh my god. It's like good to drop, decent free drop into pretty good like 4 drop into like Colossopad into 6-7 hexproof. Come on, it's like, ugh. It will be so hard to keep up with all of that, for reals. Uh, in addition to the one that untaps the creature, the 4-drop on me, like this 2-drop is actually pretty cool too. So I think zombies and limited gonna be pretty sweet art that actually does have uh, its own thing going on, and like once again you can see that it's a legitimate archetype because there are enough of synergies there that like even if you only get a few zombies it's okay. Plus like all in bombs are zombies, so like yeah, it's definitely a thing, and it's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be sweet. The crabs is pretty important actually for this limited. So makes actually blue black like a real deck or any like blue X control. But then in terms of ways to close out games, well, what are you gonna do? Just steal their best like green monster and like uh, kill them with it, or how to close out games outside of the bombs? Um, yeah, blazing volley. Well, let's have a bit of rewind and see how many 1 toughness guys we have. Not that many. Actually, not that many. It's not gonna do a whole lot. There are some 1 toughness guys, but really not that many tokens. I'm kind of like surprised why this is a thing. There are like a few 2-1s, yeah. Okay, okay. It's actually like because just 1 money investment and paying 3 guys. That's actually that could be busted. So it's not all creatures actually. It's opponent's control. So no, it's not just 3. It's all creatures. Right, right, right. Yeah. So I don't know. In an aggressive deck, I think I will main deck it because the format itself is pretty aggressive. So like if you I don't know, if you would run out of playables, yeah, I'll definitely main deck it. But even then, it might actually replace something just average in your limited deck. Well, uncommon splits, well, most of them are playable, what can I say? I just don't like the black one, but I don't like it only for constructed. I think unlimited is actually pretty good. I think unlimited is quite okay, just minus to the board. I don't know why it's a rare. It's actually not an uncommon, it's a rare, which is kind of awkward. But yeah, all those split cards, the commons and uncommons and rares are, I don't know. I love the value they give, but I have a feeling that the games will be a little bit lopsided. I mean, one-sided quite often, so that's probably not good for the game. Um, I think a lot of the cards are not really that balanced. And I'm not even like gonna start with the somewhat voice of dissent. Um, this is actually kind of balanced, I think. Um, but yeah, a lot of the split cards are just gonna be so depressive to play against in. Then we have like Rope Captain, and it's like, oh my god. Luckily, there are enough of like 1/4s and 1/5s to actually try to, you know, play non-hyper aggro decks. And Ram can do stuff. There's not that much life gain. That's what I don't like actually. I want to see a bit more life gain in this stuff. So I don't know, something on the level of playing Bala, but something I don't know. Like the 6 drop from Zendikar, that's like you gain life for each creature you control. Something like that. That would be like pretty good for this set, I feel like. There's none of this. Like, do we actually have like any healing? I mean, any life gain? Well, there's the artifact. It gains 1 life, and then in Aegis it gains 2 life. Do we actually have like life gain that you would actually play? Well, Renewed Faith. Okay, there is that. There is the black life gain, dude. Yeah. Is there anything else? So otherwise, that's kind Kind of sad. That's all we have. Oh, we have the cats, but it's a rare. It's like, well, at some point in life game. So yeah, cats will be actually like pretty important for limited. I know it's a rare, but still, just will be more important than you think it is. I think some black spells actually give you a crucial lifelink for a turn. Some of those combat tricks. Well, okay, you have the faith, so you have the life drain cycling enchantment, so you'll have that. So, so once again, grumbly more important than you think it is, just because of how ridiculous the combat can get. Do we have anything else? We have the gift. So some black-green cycling could that be a thing? Just just to stay off. Although if you're in green, so that you might be like splashing third color because of the fixing you'll get with the gift and such. So yeah, maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing. We do have some cyclers in greens, like sandworms and stuff. Just like cycler and slash win condition. Yeah, why not? Anything else to just stem the bleeding? I imagine that's how it's called. Okay, you have fog, so for the black drain kind of mid-range, which I think could be called an archetype. Could be called an archetype. Okay, there is the black up, but like that's a mythic, and then okay, that doesn't give lifelink. Is that just it? Okay, some prevent damage stuff there. Okay, you have the priest, which is that common, so so this cleric is gonna be pretty damn important for sure. Okay, this mighty leap. I think the rare green-white split gives creature lifelink. Okay, Sacred Cat is a fine, but there are not that many like auras that give a permanent bounce. Okay, let's not look at the rares. Okay, like there's Pre-Purify for extra survival. Okay, like black-white zombies can actually gain quite a bit of life, I believe. Okay. So you can counter the hyper aggression with some like blue-white X zombies and plus the monument trains. Yeah, okay. You can survive. I guess you can legitimately survive through all those captains and stuff. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, check the links in the description below. And I'll see you next time with more content. Stay tuned.